I thought maybe.
I don't really
He
know.
was killed in a plane crash.
Oh, well, I'm sure that would be memorable in my family, but I don't really know my groom side.
Are you ready?
Oh,
I-
okay. What was your maiden name?
It's grooms. I never took my
good.
husband's
We'll
last
call the
name.
meeting
My
to
husband's
order
last
at
name is Abbott.
5:24.
Oh, okay.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bond?
Here.
Mrs. Dove?
Here.
Mrs. Gay?
Here.
Mrs. Grooms?
Here.
Mrs. Harlow?
Here. Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes from our last meeting?
Yes.
Yes,
Any changes or corrections?
no.
Okay, we'll submit them as approved.
And then tonight, we also need a vote for chair for tree board.
We're going to keep it the same.
I nominate Sylvia Harlow.
Okay.
You're all
You
good.
don't want to
You're,
do it?
nope.
I'll second it.
Mrs. Duff?
Yes.
Mrs. Gay?
Yes.
Mrs. Grooms?
Yes,
Mrs. Bond?
Yes.
Mrs. Harlow?
What am I supposed to
You
say?
you can abstain if you want, or you can say yay. And then nomination and vote for vice chair.
That'd be me.
And I nominate Patty Bond for vice chair, please.
A second?
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, Mrs. Gay?
Yes.
Mrs. Grooms?
yes.
Mrs. Harlow?
Yes.
Mrs. Bond?
Yes.
Mrs. Duff?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we should say leave things where they are.
Okay, we'll go to business.
All righty. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Today's first business line item is the 2025 Tree City USA update. So hopefully you got my email last week regarding our approval. So I received an email on February 9th, and I attached it in the packet that you have, that our 15-year application was approved by the Arbor Day Foundation. So we applied back on December 1st. The application due date was December 2nd, and had to go through the local ODNR section and then to the state ODNR, and that goes to Arbor Day Foundation. And that's where they get all the across the country, all the Tree City USA applications. So it takes a little bit of time. And so we did receive approval on February 9th, and we were happy to see that it was a 15-year application to get approved. So I did want to thank Parks and Recreation, Community Development, City Council, the Streets Department, and most importantly, the Tree Board. It wouldn't happen without the Tree Board in these meetings. As well as I'd like to thank Karen and Mayor Murphy for the annual proclamation that happened each year. That's also a big requirement of the Tree City USA. As well as Kelly Stricker on organizing the Arbor Day event each year, which holds a lot of weight with the Tree City USA status, as well as our ongoing maintenance of trees throughout the city. That's been a big help. The Streets Department does a lot of pruning and maintaining of our trees throughout the city. So that is how we keep our Tree City USA status. I know this year something that I'd like to push for, if possible, is for us to apply for some grants to try to get some additional trees planted, perhaps in parks or areas that are needed in public areas, just to kind of help boost some more trees and get that sort of ideology rolling. We do have generally a Keep Montgomery County Beautiful grant comes up each year in the spring, and that's something we can apply for. It's $1,000, and you can use that money towards trees for your city. And that's something we will probably be eyeballing this year. And we can put that by, say, a digital sign or somewhere in a public area that needs shade, or and it can be a community event even when it happens. So that's something that we will be eyeballing in the future. Let's see here. And that's pretty much all I had about the Tree City USA update. I know they are having a event down in, I can't even think of the name, Forest Forest Park, Ohio, kind of by Wyoming, Ohio, down near Hamilton County. Might be in Hamilton County, I'm not sure, but they're going to be having it down south down there. But that's all I had regarding the Tree City USA update. It's great news we got that milestone and everything. Did anyone have any questions about that or anything at all?
Do you know when they're gonna do Arbor Day? Isn't that always in April?
It's the last Friday
Oh, is that when
in
it-
April.
Okay.
So ever since the 1970s, I think.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Oh, I hadn't looked at it. Okay.
I know, I
No,
just
they have
did.
April 25th highlighted, but I don't see Arbor Day.
So yeah, we will generally do the proclamation that month, right before that. At
It
this,
has an April Day, yeah, celebration.
So that's not
It's up here.
the, oh, okay.
yeah, I think it was President Nixon that signed something regarding that Arbor Day is forever to be the last Friday in April, is my understanding. So it did come from a federal level legislation that happened. So that was something that was signed and has been ongoing ever since. So yeah, a
Thank you.
little bit of history there. So yeah.
Did not know that.
If anyone didn't have any other questions, is everyone all good on Tree City USA? Perfect. All righty. Well, I was going to go into the tree article. This one came from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. I like to use them a lot as a resource for anything trees. They're actually probably the #1 website you want to go to if you have any questions about trees. But something that I think is very important is bare root seedling planting, because a lot of times it's probably the most affordable way to plant a tree. And if you want to plant a tree at your house or in a public area or anything like that, and they're very lightweight and it's easy to purchase one and carry it around. So this article goes over selecting the right tree depending on where you're wanting to put it on your property. Goes over when to plant. So for bare root seedlings, you generally want to plant them in the spring, as fall's not recommended, just due to the severe frost heaving that they quoted in the article. Generally, regular tree or more mature trees you do want to plant in the fall time, but bare root trees is the opposite. You want to plant them in the spring. And that's generally when you see them, they're propped up on a rod or some sort of stick that holds them straight up. And that's in the article as well on how to do that. It shows you how to, there's actually a good visual diagram in the article as well, showing how to dig and plant them as well as spacing if you're going to have multiple trees in your backyard. If you want to put a little forest in your backyard, there's an option there, and how much spacing you should do depending on the type of tree and purpose. And then also the care of them once you get them going. So obviously, spring seedlings are at the end of their dormant season, which a lot of people do not know. And like all trees, they do need sunlight, carbon dioxide, oxygen, and water to get a fresh start each spring. The longer you wait to plant your trees, the fewer will survive regardless of the care given. And you want to care for the roots. This is something I learned reading this article. So when you plant them, it is important that the roots are planted straight up and down and not bunched up at the bottom of the planting hole or J-rooted. A Y-shaped stick may be used to straighten roots in the hole while planting. An article gives a little bit more in-depth on how you can do that and then ensure that they are safely cared for. The other, and then it goes into seedling protection as well, just to make sure that young trees, they add notes saying that they can be damaged by a variety of animals, including ones that are very common here in Ohio, such as rabbits, squirrels, groundhogs, voles, and deer. And the most common culprits are deer. So if you have deer in your backyard, that's when you want to be a little bit careful about your seedlings. And then there's also care about after planting as well. So you just want to make sure you want to be cautious when mowing and doing weed control on your property as well. If you happen to have livestock on your property, be careful of it. If you happen to have cows or chickens or that sort of thing. Obviously, in residential areas in the city, that is not allowed, but if you live out in an agricultural area, just be careful. Diseases and insects also can pose a big serious threat as well. So to do regular monitoring of them is very important. And it's also good to mulch around the trees to help keep the weeds down naturally, and they kind of just add a protective barrier around the trees. And then if you look towards the end of the article, this is a good Ohio tree information guide broken down by type of tree, their mature spread, mature height, how they do with wind, wetlands, wildlife, shade, partial shade, sunshine, if they're well drained, and so on. And there's some notes with each tree type. A lot of these trees I've never even heard of, so I learned a lot reading through this. I've never heard of a Kentucky coffee tree before, so there's a lot of interesting trees in this article that are very interesting to read about. And so that's all I had regarding general business for that. Does anyone have any questions on the article or anything else under the business section at all?
No, that's interesting.
Perfect. I try to make it somewhat interesting. I know usually ODNR does a great job at making good visuals and kind of getting the general public to get interested in trees. So that's why I like to look at their articles, especially with the seasons changing and we don't have a 16 inches of snow outside right now. So it's time to prepare for spring here soon. But if anyone doesn't have anything left for business, did you want me to move on to other business by chance before we adjourn, I guess? So I didn't really have anything for other business, but I thought something would be interesting to share is that if you happen to read the Dayton Daily News and look over the weekend, they did an article on the TNT development, and they actually quoted one of our tree board meetings in that article. And they actually used it to do the report on the new TNT development going on at East River Road. So they did use a tree board meeting to write an article in the Dayton Daily News. So I thought I'd share that with you if you happen to read it. I actually have a copy of it, so I can actually share it with you if you'd like to read it. But I can email it over to you if you'd like to take a look at it and see what you think. But other than that, I don't have anything further unless anyone has any questions.
All righty. Any questions? No?
And then I just have down that the next meeting will be on April 21st at 5:15, following the Parks and Rec Board meeting.
Okay, we'll adjourn at 5:37.
Quick and easy. Like it.
Yeah. All right, on my little notes.